Well, we are no doubt getting an early start on fire season in New Mexico. As we mentioned, a fire has been burning on the Bosque in the Isleta Pueblo since over the weekend. Then on Monday, a grass fire spread near Belen.
Well, today, as you know, fire danger is expected to be extremely high. Firefighters are going to be extra careful, and they're urging you to do the same. We sent News 13's Samantha McDonald down to the Bosque on the Isleta Pueblo to get us the latest on all of this. Sam, do you see any smoke, any flames around that area?
I don't right here, Matt, but not too far from here, the Isleta Pueblo fire is still burning, and the threat of fire is going to increase today. That's because of warmer temperatures, dryness, and high winds. Winds are expected to get up to 50 miles per hour in some areas of New Mexico and will pick up throughout the day. Both the Bernalillo County Fire Marshal and the City of Albuquerque's Environmental Health Department are able to ban open burning based on the weather conditions. They banned open burning yesterday, and officials say they expect extreme weather conditions today that would call for an open fire ban. That means no burning weeds, no burning brush in the yard, no burning farmland, or starting campfires.
People don't realize that fire spreads that quick. If we do catch people that are burning and that causes a fire like that, they can be cited or even arrested and be charged and be responsible for the cost of that fire.
The fire department and city officials look at different factors to decide whether an open fire ban is necessary.
They're looking more at winds and drought conditions, whereas we're looking more at the meteorology and how the smoke is going to disperse.
Authorities expect to make a decision by 7 a.m. this morning. Back to you.
All right, thank you for the important update, Samantha. Now, for more information on open burning, we'll have a link posted on KRQE.com under the links section. There you'll find out what you need to do before you do any open burning. Elizabeth.
A UNM Lobo quarterback is getting a hefty payout from the city as a result of a lawsuit against the Albuquerque Police Department. KRQE has learned that football player David Vega is receiving $45,000 stemming from a false arrest by officers who went to his home without a warrant. Police said a stolen cell phone led officers to Vega's home in 2012. The lawsuit claims that officers saw vomit outside and used that as an emergency excuse to go into Vega's home. Vega was arrested for concealing his identity and underage drinking, but those charges were dropped. He was suspended from the football team after his arrest, but then later reinstated.
He's a young kid who just wants to play football.
Vega's attorney says one of the officers involved in the false arrest was fired from APD, though it is not known exactly why he was fired.
The former volleyball coach at Melrose High School is now being charged with raping a student. Alison Draper is accused of 1 count of rape and 5 counts of criminal sexual contact of a 15-year-old girl. Draper resigned in December and was arrested yesterday. The case against her developed during an investigation of another coach accused of sending text messages to an underage girl. That coach resigned this month, but so far has not been named or charged. Renee Olamacher's aunt told a jury in Albuquerque she thinks Renee had something to do with her parents' murders. Ronald Santiago, a loan processor here, is on trial accused of shooting Greg and Bernadette Olamacher in their home on the west side in 2005. But Santiago's lawyers have consistently pointed at Renee as the possible killer. Renee's aunt, Jessica Montoya, right here, testified yesterday that she became suspicious of her niece early on because Renee was so calm when she called about her parents' deaths.
The way she told me that her parents were dead that didn't feel right.
Montoya also testified that when Renee lived with her after the murder, she didn't have any sense of urgency or worry about finding the killer. The case could go to the jury later this week.
UNM is moving full steam ahead to buy new land for its athletic facilities after settling a court case. The school will pay $1.2 million to buy acreage along Sunshine Terrace, just south of the softball field along University. With the settlement, UNM now owns 50 of the 59 lots on that road. The land was originally meant for homes, but has been vacant for decades. UNM says it is still working on buying out the last privately owned lots. The university eventually wants to pave the dirt lot for parking. And an old Albuquerque neighborhood is getting a facelift, transforming from an industrial to a residential zone. The mayor says it's actually a move that could revitalize the area.
Number one, it creates jobs and it creates homes for people and it creates market rate housing. And I think that's an important concept here as well.
The official groundbreaking in the Sawmill District was held yesterday afternoon, just north of Old Town. Construction on a new 78-unit townhouse complex will begin in the next few weeks. The mayor says the rezoning will help the local economy and lure businesses. The townhomes are expected to be up for sale by late spring, with prices starting at in the mid 150s.
Well, a bill to keep New Mexico students working in this state after they graduate from college and reduce what's called brain drain. Passed the committee and is on its way to the House floor. It has the support of 3 research universities here in New Mexico and a lot of businesses too. Companies could get a tax credit of $5 grand for each graduate student hired in science, technology, health, education, and math. Statistics show that 8 out of 10 students who graduate from New Mexico's colleges move to other states. Well, optimism is high for one of several bills introduced this session to keep the lottery scholarship program going. The bill passed the Senate and is gaining momentum as it heads toward the House for a vote. The plan creates a recurring revenue source for the scholarship fund. To keep it running, the plan gives the scholarships $11 million from the general fund this academic year and $11.5 million for the next academic year. Currently, there are 14,000 students who depend on this scholarship. More than 90,000 have received it since it started back in 1996.